Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langmeyer.
Hello. Welcome back. This is Lunch with Loral. It's been a little while since we've been together, and this is a little bit of an update. This is a little bit of a what's going on in the world of cannabis. So those of you that are out there, ping your friends, let them know we are on live Lunch with Loral today, and the topic will be cannabis. The word is actually cannabis. So you write in cannabis, and we will send you out our 4-week webinar. So we'll be talking about that. Hi, Bruce. Also, any comments, you can ask Loral any question. Ask Loral's real premier site for us. So you can go to askloral.com, put in your name, phone number, email, ask any question, make a comment. Also, those of you, if you've not downloaded my podcast is Loral's Real Money Talks. Go to iTunes or your app store and download Loral's Real Money Talks. There is all of the history of it, but we've had many podcasts. I just got off 2 podcasts with extraordinary folks. How you can make more money in real estate using a very cool tool called Virtual Tour Cafe. And then one, again, on the dissection of the 2008 tax code. A lot of folks still haven't got that. So again, make sure you've downloaded really 3 things. The Ask Loral app. Again, you get that at iTunes. And also go to the iTunes or App Store and get Loral's Real Money Talks. So those are 2 that you need to get. And just go to Ask Loral if you want to ask any questions. So we're going to wait for a few more folks. Look at all those folks joining. Awesome. So again, Bruce has already started the lead. So the word of the day is cannabis. Type it in and you'll get our 4-week webinar. We are getting ready to do another webinar. So we're not only going to do a webinar, we are doing a tour. So November 7th, we will be in Cathedral City. And for those who want to get ambitious, we may be even coming up towards Hawthorne, where we have land and Nevada licenses that are getting perfected right now in cultivation and manufacturing. So just a little update of where we've been. Last year, a year ago, actually, that's why we have a little celebration of our webinar. A year ago, July, I started a 4-week webinar, and thousands of people from this community joined in. It's been recorded, edited, and again, type in the word cannabis, and you will be able to get that 4-week webinar we did. It is a year old, so I'm going to do a little bit of updates today. So from that, though, in October, we went and did a great Las Vegas cannabis workshop. So it included a tour to the cultivation, to the manufacturing, to the dispensary. Extraordinary. Right out of that, a group of folks really wanted to engage and do a project. So we bought 23 acres in Cathedral City. We closed that on October 30th last year. So that has been underway, getting the land ready, getting the water rights, the electric rights. So we are now ready to put shovels in the ground. So I believe this week, if not next, we'll be contracting a partner in that. And we will be getting shovels in the ground. We also have 2 investor groups, one that's going to do their own private cultivation inside our condos, and the other, they'll be doing brain and Alzheimer's strains specifically for their clinical trials. So they're a group of brain researchers, Alzheimer's, dementia, and doing CBD and THC related products that will be grown and moved into our local dispensary, manufactured in our facility. They'll end up being a profit share of that. And so the way to think about the condos is in 23 acres, we have, well upward of 275,000 plus square feet that we could put into cultivation. So if you think about a condo, you have like a tenants in common or a homeowners association. So we're going to have condos concierge. So essentially we're going to share the manufacturing facility, and then everybody can do their own private label or their own brands, which is where a lot of the money is going to be is in this industry. As well, we'll have a dispensary right there on I-10 and Date Palm Drive, which is where you actually go into Palm Springs to the airport. So we will be really the gateway into that whole valley. And again, the condo, each person will have a cultivation at whatever size of condo they want to purchase. So one group's doing 20,000, another group's doing 40,000, and then we'll continue to sell out that condo space, all using our manufacturing, all using our dispensary, all using security, again, combined water. So there'll be concierge services. We'll even handle distribution. Currently, we have a team that will be doing a lot of Southern Cal distribution and delivery. So we'll be sharing and, really using our combined resources to all help each other. So cool condo ideas called Creative Condos. If you want to know more about the development of that project, you can email startasseteducation@gmail.com, startasseteducation@gmail.com. And that'll tell you more about the PPM, how we're raising capital, how that's all working. And then over in Nevada, we have 4 licenses. So like I said, the Hawthorne license will be perfected and will be up in a greenhouse formation in the next probably 2 months. So that's what's going on in the United States. And those certified CBD, it's right here, about 30 minutes right from our building. And we'll be working out of there a lot. In fact, I've moved in my sales team. So I have a sales team. I always have a sales team. So we're moving them in. They will also be doing joint, we'll call it health and wealth sales. So there will be CBD products. There will be the CBD Billy's Bud distribution that will be operating. In fact, that's a new run of production is going out today from that facility. And other things, like there's another person in our community who has access to a network marketing company that needs hemp. So that plant will be sourcing that. Great joint venture, great way for him to make more money. So if you know someone who needs to package, and whether it's CBD, whether it's vape pens, whether it's any kind of product that's non-THC related, that's what that manufacturing plant does, that plus a combination of nutraceuticals. So cool, 55,000 square feet. And we will continue to be moving in there. Tomorrow, I think, is our last big shipment of kitchen stuff, conference tables, all that kind of stuff. So that's our Northern Nevada facility. Again, the Nevada licenses and the California. And then the big, we call it our crown jewel. We're in process of selling right now. It's a Columbia license with some growers. So around April, so we're in acquisition mode, and now we're heading into development. So it's just a stage process. We're keep telling you what's going on. Our goal is to take you out again November 7th. So mark your calendars. If you're in the big table, we will have a big table in Palm Springs, Cathedral City area, November 5th and 6th. And then those who want to stay over will stay over November 7th. Those of you who are not in a big table, which means our mentoring and mastermind process, you can just sign up for the day and do just the cannabis tours. So we'll do Cathedral City. We're going to see stuff that's not ours as well, because ours won't be fully developed. And then those who really want to, we're going to figure out if it makes sense to have those of you who want to see the greenhouse, especially if you've invested in it, makes sense that you go see the asset that you're going to be part owning. So that's all what's been going on. April, I've been on a 3-year mission to figure out how Canadians, having been being married to one, could better invest their RSPs. So we are closing now finally on that process. In April, we went on a big financial tour through Canada that continued to May, and now we're in negotiations June and July to sell off a lot of those assets I just discussed to a large Canadian, either family office, merchant bank, private equity, some combination of sell-off, not to sell off and just get out of it. It's to sell off and go public on the Vancouver Exchange, which will be a stock play that the RSPs can do, and many of you will be able to do. So as we get closer to that, we'll teach you how to get, Canadian accounts and how to trade in Canadian currency on their exchange. So it won't be on the Toronto Exchange. It'll be on the Vancouver Exchange. So cool stuff. Those of you that are joining, again, type in the word cannabis and we will send you out our 4-week webinar, and that'll get you, up to date on what's going on. Now, fast forward, some other cool stuff going on. October 17th, Canada is legal. So it does not look like that date is moving. And our goal is to potentially, I'm talking to partners right now and sponsors, put on an October 17th event in Toronto on the exchange, right on Bay Street, where the exchanges are. Just have a great, fun opening day. Launch of Canada, federally across every province is going to be cannabis. And the amount of money that is moving through and go public opportunities is extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. It makes the .com look like it's never even happened. So this green rush is enormous. Like, I said, a little over a year ago, I announced I'm getting in this space, and I'm heavily in this space to the point of spending, a large majority of my time with a whole group of other partners and really sourcing the products. I think the manufacturing is just extraordinary, the amount of infused products, whether it's CBD or THC related. And my heart and soul is on the medicinal side, clearly. Some of us, especially the brain docs, will be doing some responsible marijuana use just for those who are in the recreational space. and talking a lot about microdosing as a way to start dosing. What the problem that we see is that because they're sold in 100 milligram and then divided into 10 milligram squares or circles or pieces, whether it's an edible or a drink, some people aren't paying attention to the dosing. And some of you don't need 10 milligrams. You only need 2. But there's not a lot of dosing guidelines, I'd say, that are out there other than what you can purchase and how you can manufacture. So I think there's a huge opportunity, as we call it, the picks and shovels, the businesses around the business, Renee and Dave, that I'm going to invite them onto my podcast. They don't even know. So if they're listening, they are merchant service providers in the CBD, hemp, and THC space. So there's businesses popping up everywhere: software, web designers, legal, accounting, deal structure, pro formas, application experts. It's just extraordinary what's going on right now in this space. So if you're not in it, I would get over the drug side of how you think this is. Clearly, that has been what's going on. It's still a Schedule I drug in the United States. Who owns the trademark and the patent and everything else around it? They know it was going to be a gold mine. They knew it cured a lot of ailments. So that's the piece that I'm very interested in, working with the Brain Alzheimer's group, also the folks from seizures to mental illness to arthritis. There are so many ways that this medicine, I'm going to call it, is going to get in the hands of the right people with the right dose. So super exciting. And we will let you know when we start doing these Canadian deals. So my goal is to be in front, lead, show you how to do things, and continue to bring updated information to you. So last announcement, and again, those of you just joining, type in the word cannabis, and there's some testimonials going on out there. And if you need things like Minnie, I'm just reading through really quickly. If you need some products, we can put you in touch with the folks at the plant and the docs at the plant who can do extraordinary assessments and some recommendations of what you should be taking, how much, and it'll be some combination of nutraceuticals, potentially CBD, maybe THC. So we have extraordinary 40 doctor group who is working with the folks at the plant to actually come up with new products, as well as formulations that are already in, say, network marketing companies or other companies, and how to do it. So cool stuff going on. Well, the biggest announcement, and I'd love to direct you over there right now, is Marijuana Millionaires. So marijuanamillionaires.com, brand new group. It is going to be a combination of a best-selling book, a industry standard newsletter that'll be written by some of the best financial experts, mostly from Canada, and how the capital markets work up there, as well as potentially a magazine. We're going to showcase those who become millionaires in marijuana and document their stories, just like Bill Gates did when he did the Microsoft Millionaires. So this is very similar kind of spinoff of that conversation of how many people can be made millionaires if you get your head into this game and decide what your best skill set is around the opportunities that are here. So have those conversations. If you go to marijuanamillionaires.com right now, we have a survey. We'd love for you to complete it, send it around to those that are in your community. All we're doing is gathering data, right? So for this launch of a book, of a newsletter, of potentially a magazine, an app, like what would you want from us on a regular basis? So we're putting quite a team from, again, docs to formulators to capital market experts. We're putting quite a team around the Marijuana Millionaires. And we want to know from you, what do you want to know? What would have you come back to an app and a newsletter on a weekly or monthly basis to be told about what? So we obviously have our ideas and agendas, but just like I do on every book, I come to the community and say, what do you want? And I will go get it. And I'll help facilitate the right knowledge that you all want. So super excited. Again, Marijuana Millionaires, if somebody on my team wants to type that up, you can click on that link. I know Thomas and Steve worked on that whole page and the survey. And if there's something on the survey or that's not on the survey, the place to always ask questions or get an appointment with me or the team is go to askloral.com and put in your name, your phone number, email, make a request, or ask a question. So again, the keyword for the day is cannabis. You'll get our 4-week webinar that we recorded a year ago. And stay in touch. We'll keep you updated. Again, November 7th, mark your calendars. We just got back, by the way, from Dallas, had an extraordinary table and tour. Those of you who missed it, you are missing out by not getting to the streets. I've always said, from real estate to gas and oil, when you get to the streets, you actually know how these strategies and businesses are worked. If you want to be a shark, you got to go out and know how companies work, and you got to be on these tours. So we expect it to be enormous. We're inviting in some industry key leaders into that November 7th tour. So be there, download Marijuana Millionaires, and let's stay in touch. as we always do. So 12 noon, mark your calendars. Let other folks know that we do Lunch with Laurels. Sometimes they're 5 minutes, sometimes they're 45 minutes. Just depends what we want to talk about and the topic of the day. And we'll be back next week. We will have the big table here. So I will be heading downstairs and talking to a variety of folks and bringing them live on why they're in the table, what are they accomplishing, because those of you who aren't clear what that is, you're going to hear directly from the source and how the big table is changing their life. So thanks for joining Lunch with Loral. Have an amazing day. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langmeyer, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Loral's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Loral? Visit askloral.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.